One night, this guy Ryan, he's out walking 3 dogs. Now he's a dog walker, so he's walking them for a client. And then suddenly, boom, a car pulls up and 2 men jump out. And one of them punches Ryan in the face and another tries to choke him because they're trying to steal the dogs. But Ryan, he doesn't want to let the dogs go, so he fights back. And then one of the men pulls out a pew-pew and then bang, he shoots Ryan in the chest. And Ryan falls to the ground while the men grab 2 of the dogs. And they jump in their car where a 3rd man is driving and the 3 of them speed away. And they leave Ryan for dead, bleeding out on the sidewalk, and he's still clutching the 3rd dog while he gasps for life. Now one of the robbers is this guy, Jalen. And Jalen and his friends had got this plan to drive around Los Angeles looking for French bulldogs to steal so that they can sell them for thousands of dollars. This is why they attacked Ryan. But the next day, after they had stolen the dogs, Jalen comes across a social media post. And it shows a picture of the 2 Frenchies he took, and it says they're missing. And that there's a reward to anyone who finds them and returns them. But here's what else the post says. The dogs Jalen took actually belong to Lady Gaga. Not only that, the reward she's offering, $500,000. So Jalen's like, holy shit, jackpot, I gotta get this reward money. Now, he can't return the dogs himself and collect the money. No, that would be too suspicious. So he goes and gets his dad involved. Now, his dad is also kind of a turd, and his name, and I'm not making this up, Lil Porky. Now, unfortunately, Lil Porky has a previous criminal record, so he can't return the dogs either. So, they go and get someone who won't look suspicious. Lil Porky's girlfriend, this woman, McBride. So McBride plans to pretend that she found these dogs abandoned on the side of the road, and she's gonna return them and collect all that reward money. So then 2 days later, after the dog napping, one of them drops the dogs off at a random location, and they tie them to a street pole. Moments later, McBride just happens to be nearby and finds the dogs. Oh, what a coinkydink. She then gets the dogs and takes them to the police station and starts asking about that Lady Gaga reward money. And now police, they immediately get suspicious. And they check the surveillance footage of the area where McBride said she found the dogs. And on the footage, they see a car pull up and someone gets out and ties the dogs to a pole. So police, they run the plate on this car and they find that the car is connected to a man named Harold White, aka Lil Porky. So police, they look up Lil Porky's Instagram and his Facebook page, and they see that he's in a relationship with McBride, the very woman who found the dogs. Now, police already have a few suspects who they feel might have been involved in the dog napping. One of those suspects being Jalen. And of course, they investigate and see Lil Porky is Jalen's father. So they arrest all of them. McBride, Lil Porky, Jalen, the other 2 men involved. Now, they all get in trouble, but McBride, she actually ends up taking a plea deal. And she only gets 2 years probation for this scheme. Oh, but she's not done. Then McBride gets an attorney and she sues Lady Gaga for that $500,000 reward money, arguing that Lady Gaga's post promised anyone reward money who returned the dogs, no questions asked. And she returned the dogs, so she feels like she's entitled to that money. And on top of that, McBride sues her for another $1.5 million, claiming pain and suffering, mental anguish, and loss of enjoyment of life as a result of not being paid the initial reward money. Luckily, the judge is sane, and pretty quickly she's like, this lawsuit's bullshit, and she throws it out. So anyway, Jalen ended up getting 4 years in prison. Other dog napper got 6 years in prison. I actually couldn't find Lil Porky's sentence, so I don't know. But the guy who actually pulled the trigger and shot Ryan, he got 21 years in prison. While Ryan, the hero of the story, he got rushed to the hospital. And he ended up having a collapsed lung and a bunch of complications. But he did survive, he did get through it, and he appears to still be working with dogs. Good for him. Shout out to Bad Romance.